Hello, folks. Eric's Eric's going to take care of audio issues. Now, tonight we're looking at Abita beers, not a particular Abita beer because unfortunately everybody could not find Abita Amber. But it's interesting because this is the 30th anniversary of the founding, not today particularly, but this year, 2016 is the 30th anniversary of Abita beer. So we have, let's see, we have from the south, Jean-Pierre. It looks like he's going to be clicking off and on because of internet problems. And myself. And also from the upper south, we have Marilyn Jake, who's joining us for the first time, but he's watched my videos for a good while now, haven't you?
Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Hi.
Hello.
And then from up north, we have John. Charles can't make it tonight?
I haven't talked to him tonight, so.
Okay. So we got John in Zone 1 in Indiana. We got, oh, there's Jean-Pierre coming back. We've got Eric and Nate up there in New England and Massachusetts.
Hello, everybody.
We've got Maria Devon, the girl next door, in New York, and last but not least, in New York City, the borough, at one time its own city, Brooklyn, formerly its own city, but it was absorbed by New York in the 1890s. We've got Michael.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Welcome back. Michael and myself had a personal meetup last year. I had a meetup with John last year and this year. Sharon, and I guess we'll be meeting up. I'll be meeting up with some more people probably, I hope. All right, so I've got a Abita Indicator.
Sweet.
Tell us Doppelbock. What you know about that? Label out.
Right.
Label out.
Indicator.
8% alcohol, and we're making a little joke about it because when it first came out, I think in 1993, and then it disappeared for a while. But when it first came out, it was Indicator malt liquor, and it was 8%. And they might have had a rule in Louisiana that it couldn't be that strong or something, but it kind of disappeared. And then it came back. Oh, I hear an echo. It came back, and it was rebranded as Indicator Helles Doppelbock. So, Maria, you're going to go first because we're going to follow a proper decorum. You've got the...
Most likely I have the lightest beer. This is the strawberry lager. It's called Harvest Series, 4.2%. And frankly, because of the addition of the strawberries and because it uses wheat, I'm not really sure what kind of beer this is. Lager might not be the right word. I don't know. I've never had it. Let's get it open. Do you want me to do the nose and everything right away? Or
yeah, while you're doing that, I'm going to give you some information. It's 128 calories. It's 4.2% alcohol. It's a lager brewed with Pilsner and wheat malts. So I just want you to think about these things. Pilsner, wheat malts, and Vanguard hops. Real Louisiana.
I don't know anything about Vanguard hops. I do know that this beer has a slight haze. Most likely it's not from dry hopping, so that has to be the wheat. The head is creamy and a good color. The beer is attractive. It's, you know, it's a nice, it's like a hazy gold. It's very pale. I don't see any red or anything pulpy, you know, nothing amiss from the addition of the strawberry. I don't know if they use juice or whole strawberries. I think whole strawberries.
It says real Louisiana strawberry juice is added after filtration, resulting in a crisp lager with a sweet strawberry smell, flavor, and haze. And Maria, have you had Abita beers before?
I've had Turbo Dog and maybe one other there, Pilsner, the Seersucker Pills.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
The summer offering. So what do you think about this strawberry lager? It's one of the most popular Abita beers, by the way. The store is loaded with it right now, cans and bottles.
It smells like strawberries. It's very authentic. I mean, if you were to go strawberry picking, this is the scent that would greet you as you bent down to pick your strawberries. And There is some fragrant wheat on it. I'm not smelling a whole lot of hops. I can tell that it's going to be sweet from the nose because I'm getting like a sweet backing. And then there's a lot of floral from hop. I'm not smelling any herbal though. I'll give it a quick taste. It's one of those beers with juice added, so it's timely. We're talking about that on Beer Advocate. It tastes a lot like strawberry. Boy, oh boy.
Hold that up again, Marie. Let's see it.
And it finishes darn sweet. It's not as crisp as it could be because it's sweet.
Let me interrupt
call
you.
it a lager.
By the way, let me just.
I'll need more time to have more opinion.
Okay. By the way, I just wanted to interrupt. Sorry. I have it set up now for question and answer. If any viewers want to, ask anything. Okay. So Maria's going to drink on it and think on it.
Yeah.
So.
I don't like the finish. I don't think it finishes like a lager, actually. It's very sweet. It's very juicy. It has a tartness in the finish that's definitely not lager. I would call it a specialty beer.
Wouldn't it finish more, if it's got Pilsner stuff in it, wouldn't it finish more like a Pilsner type beer?
No, it finishes like juice.
Really?
It's got a prickly carbonation. It's got a slight bite from carbonation and tastes a lot like juice.
The strawberries are probably overbearing to the beer.
A little, yeah.
Would it be more like a cider?
German version.
I'm not tasting a whole lot of Pils malt. I mean, it's in there. You can tell that it's in there, but it's mostly wheat and strawberry.
Okay.
Now, since we're in New York at this time, we're going to go down southeastern New York, south of where Maria is, and quite a bit far south, and we're going to go to Michael. And have you had Abita beers before, Mike?
Yes, I have. I've had the Turbo Dog, and I've had something I think is now discontinued, Giacomo IPA, which they made for a lot of years, and I really liked it, but now you can't get it anymore.
No, I was disgusted when they canceled it. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking the same alcohol as Maria's, Purple Haze.
The raspberry infused wheat lager. Okay.
Right, and I got it from my daughter who lives in Delaware, but she buys beer in Maryland on the border in, trying to think of the town that's by Newark, Delaware. She goes to a place, so she brought me this beer back, and if she only had two, so I had to give her this big routine that I needed it for this big tasting that we're having, whatever. So that's why, because normally this is not the style that I would drink of the Abita beers, but, I'm willing to try anything. So.
And Michael, let me read this because this is going to be interesting, especially coming right after Maria. It's 128 calories. Hers was 138. It's 4.2% alcohol. I think the IBUs are the same, 13. It's a lager brew with real raspberries added after filtration. Now check this out. It is brewed with Pilsner and wheat malts and Vanguard hops.
Uh-oh. Same recipe.
Sounds like a companion beer with a different fruit.
Yeah.
Sounds like a variant.
Ew.
Wow.
Your Flying Dog made something. They made a blueberry wheat, but I've seen it. I've tried it before, but it's way too sweet.
We're going to get to Maryland Jake next because I want to see what he's drinking. But what do you think about this?
All right, I'm going to give it a.
Okay.
You can definitely smell the. This is what it looks like. I'm in a Sierra Nevada glass.
Okay.
See it.
It's
a nice looking beer. It has a nice white head, and it has raspberry smell. It's not, from what Maria described hers, it's not as sweet smelling. But maybe raspberry is not as sweet as strawberry. But you can smell the raspberries. It definitely has a raspberry nose, and you can smell the kind of wheat kind of feel you'd have in a wheat beer with the raspberries. I'm going to take a sip here and see. There is some sweetness, but I would say it's more tart than sweet. And it's drinkable, but the raspberry does sit in your mouth feel, and it's not a positive mouth feel.
I'm going to make some comment on that later because I have a lot of experience with all of these. So,
but it's a pleasant beer. I mean, my daughter, who's not a heavy beer drinker, likes it because I think she likes most fruit-type beers. That seems to be the thing she really does like.
yeah, and Purple Haze is one of the extremely popular Abita beers. If you go to almost any bar or restaurant in Louisiana, they'll have Purple Haze. That's an all.
I've seen it down here in Mobile. There's a lot of
Let me ask this about that
in Mobile.
phase.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong, but didn't that one time they put those out in like 2-liter bottles?
Okay, well, no. There is a 22-ounce bomber bottle variant of this beer, and it's called Triple Haze, and it's the same thing, but it's 8% alcohol, so it's like much stronger ABV. But it's
I don't see it here in this area.
yeah,
We get a lot of Abita beers.
they just sell that occasionally. Like it came out, and I tried it, and I was very impressed. But it was sort of like just a more powerful Purple Haze. But Purple Haze is very popular now. The Abita Strawberry is big right now, but it's only sold in the springtime in cans or bottles, possibly on draft. It's got to be on draft, yeah. So, and it's big now. You know, I mean, these people like to drink these fruit beers. Now, to Marilyn, Jake, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I went to 3 different stores, and then none of them carried any Abita. But from last time, I got a Rogue Brutal. I could find the dead guy, and I just wanted to join in. You know, I'm still new to this Bugle Plus. This is the first hangout I've ever done. But
That's
yeah,
great.
I'm having Rogue Brutal.
There you go. Cool.
I feel bad because at least you got to dip your toe in it, even though you couldn't dip it in the correct pool. But that's okay because you couldn't find it.
And on the subject of the strawberry beer, there is a store in Randallstown, Maryland that sells all these German imports. They had one there called Fruity. It was strawberry, like a German strawberry lager, but I never tried it because I didn't want to pay like $15 for 4 bottles. So.
Yeah, I've seen the Friuli.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Brutal IPA is comical because they describe it brutal, you know, but it's like the mildest IPA.
Mm-hmm. I know it's not as hoppy as I like them, but it's...
Yeah, it's a joke. The name is a joke because it's like the mildest IPA they make. So it's done as kind of a comedy because it's anything but brutal. Now, so we're gonna go on and but next week, if you're able to get Chimay Red Cap, and I think you could probably get the Chimay Red, you could join us with that beer.
I can get that.
Yeah, that's very common.
Yeah, I can get that.
Now, Nate, what are you drinking tonight?
I have got another Purple Haze, believe it or not.
I believe it.
I think you guys mentioned that it had kind of a wheat beer kind of taste to it. Yeah, I can taste that, especially. I mean, it's not the same style, but it was a little bit like a fruity, kind of like a fruity version of Shock Top almost, but not as like not as sharp a flavor as it. Like really, just way more comfortable drink. I had a taste of it. I smelled it before even looking it up, just now, and as soon as I looked it up on Beer Advocate, it said exactly what I was thinking. It's a fruit beer. That's basically. I had no idea when I picked it up. I just kind of was like, oh, this it's got a cool name.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, it's a fruit beer, and it's one of those things. You know, if you like that kind of stuff, I'll say this now. I've had the beer on, when I first had Purple Haze, I didn't like it too much, but it started growing on me. I like its kind of soft mouthfeel, but I've had it on draft. It's really good on draft, and it's so hazy. Now, the Abita Strawberry, I can live without that. It's pretty good. I thought the Shiner Strawberry Lager was much better. There's another company competing in Louisiana called Pontchartrain. They're smaller. Covington Brewery, right down the road from Abita, and they make a Covington strawberry beer, and it's I guess it's equal to Abita strawberry, but the Shiner was better, I thought. I bought that in Texas. John dropped off, but I guess he had
all night.
he has those troubles sometimes. Now, he was drinking the Andy-Gator. Now, I'm going to go to Eric. What are you drinking?
This is actually the first time I've ever had an Abita beer, so this is a cool kind of examination. I have the Abita Turbo Dog this evening. My bottle says Best by 5/1/2016, which is right around the corner. Good thing I bought it when I did.
That's one of the original Abita beers.
That is what I understand. Yes, it is. It had a lot larger of a head when it started, but I didn't recall it ever having a really huge head. If I look at it in the light, it's definitely a dark, like a dark, rich mahogany kind of a color. It's got that khaki-looking tan head. It's, by the way, it is an English-style brown ale, which it definitely smells that way. I'm getting.
It's 5.6% alcohol. It's 28 IBUs. It's 168 calories, and it's brewed with pale, caramel, and chocolate malts and Willamette hops.
Yes, and in the nose, I'm definitely getting a cross between a chocolate and a vanilla kind of smell. There's a little bit of like a toasted nuttiness to it. A little bit of an earthiness from the hops and some brown bread, as you would expect from that English style. Just an overall, just a general sweetness, but nothing too, nothing too overly sweet. But the taste, I think Jay was talking about it in one of the beers. It could have been the Purple Haze, that it does have a very smooth mouthfeel. It's not overly carbonated. You actually get a good vanilla taste with that chocolate and some of those toasted nutty malts. There is a little bit of like a medium roasted coffee in there that I noticed, and for it being 28 IBUs, it has a little bit of a bittering flavor at the end of the sip, but it's not anything too bitter. It's pretty smooth. I would say it's on the light side of medium, and so far so good with this beer. I'm liking it.
Wow, you really did a great job describing Turbo Dog. I've had it over the years since 1996. The first time I drank it was at Brewing's restaurant, since destroyed by Hurricane Katrina.
It kind of begs. I know some people don't like that style, but it kind of begs almost having a nitrogen version of it. Almost begs to have it done that way.
I don't believe Abita's ever made a nitro beer, but I could be wrong, because they do make some exotic specialty beers that you can only buy in certain locations. Now we're getting into some Doppelbock, some Helles Doppelbock. Now, John, Sharon, you have this Abita Turbo Andy-Gator, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking tonight. It's what you give me.
And any beer that ends in Ator, we know what that is.
Yeah.
Doppelbock.
Gator, Celebrator, Spot Optimator.
Now, let me dive into this, because this is a pretty good beer, I think, and I wish I could get it around here.
Yeah. Where'd you get that beer? Where'd you get that beer?
I think it was from Louisiana Beer Reviews. The guy named Jay Terrio gave me this beer. But if I was to really sit here and talk about this beer, I'm going to say it's an outstanding beer. I get a lot of the malt liquor notes out of this beer. If I was to say what I compare this beer to, is a St. Ides.
Wow. What?
What the hell?
That's me saying that. It's got a lot of one beer we notes of what I would compare to an awesome malt liquor.
Whoa, he's going straight malt liquor on this one.
But it's not made.
High gravity beer.
Yeah.
They don't use any rice or corn adjunct, so it's just water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. But it's got that tanginess. You're saying it's got
the tanginess that you want out of a fantastic malt liquor beer.
Whoa! Wow.
Tangy, and it's heavy-bodied, and it's 8% alcohol. And if you drink a bomber of it, and
you're gonna feel the effects of a bomber of this beer right here.
Sounds like a good 4th of July beer.
It is sold in bombers, and let me say this to you.
It is really sold in bombers?
Oh, yes, sir. $3.99 a bomber. And let me say this to you.
You want to give me a 12-ounce bottle for?
That's cheap for a bomber.
Because I bought a variety. Because I bought a variety pack so he could get all kind of different beers. 235 calories. So if you're on a diet, do not drink Andy Gator. There's also a Straw Gator that comes out around this time of the year. Straw Gator. It's Andy Gator with strawberry juice in it. It was okay. It was good. Okay, it's a high gravity brew made with Pilsner malt.
You can definitely get the Pilsner malt in it for sure.
German lager yeast.
Yeah.
And German pearl hops.
Okay.
But unlike other high gravity brews, Andy Gator is fermented to a dry finish with a slightly sweet flavor and subtle fruit aroma.
You can definitely get the dry finish in it. But it's definitely sweet. But in the back end, it goes down dry. You can definitely taste the dry. But it's a malt liquor. You can tell it's a malt liquor.
You like it, huh?
Hey, yeah, a lot.
Nothing wrong with that.
Now, Jean-Pierre, you're drinking some Andy Gator. What do you think?
Right.
You've had it before, right?
Yeah, I've had Andy Gator before, and again, everybody, excuse me if I've had to log on, log off because my computer's acting crazy for whatever the reason. First time I had this beer, it was at a bar at Dreamland Barbecue, and Jay, I'm sure your daughter knows about Dreamland Barbecue since it's around Tuscaloosa, a very popular barbecue spot, but it's right here in Mobile, and they had Andy Gator on draft.
Wow.
Yeah, that was back in 2010. Around that time, they finally lifted the ban a year before about beers, in the state of Alabama being sold, under 6%. Now you can sell beers at that time over 6%. And the first time I had it on draft, I thought it was really good, but it really put me for a loop. I was like, whoa, this is some strong stuff here.
Yeah, not most, but maybe most, a lot of bars in Louisiana have Andy Gator on draft. And they give it to you in a huge glass, and look, like it says on the back of the bottle, can sneak up on you.
Yes, it did. It snuck up on me, and somehow, by the grace of the good Lord, I made it home. And it was, and what I'm smelling tonight, I don't know about you, and I don't know about you, John, but it just smells. The notes is sort of like a very sweet sort of bread type of scent to this beer that I'm smelling on this. And I bought my bottle last Friday, and I had it in the refrigerator and then put it in the freezer before we did our review tonight. It has that sort of sweet bread, a little raisin scent to it, and I'm chugging it now, and it does have that sort of high gravity beer taste to it. I can't use the word malt liquor. I detest that word. I can't stand it. I just a personal thing. But I've always enjoyed this beer, and it's great. I had this at a restaurant, and I was eating some quail, and I thought it went perfect with my meal. I said, man, this is the perfect beer to have with this, and it was. So, very good beer.
Well,
I apologize. I called it a malt liquor.
Don't worry about it, John. Don't worry about it.
But, I get the same thing you're talking about, the sweet breadiness taste. Maybe a little bit of raisins, but, it definitely has a lot of the characteristics of
I agree.
That. And but this is the first time I've ever had it because up in Indiana we can't get a lot of these Abita beers. So,
right.
I'm really enjoying what I've had from Jay so far. So,
that's the first one you had?
That's the first time I've ever had it, Andy Gator.
From your little pickup. Hey, I tried the heft that you gave me, and the heft was good.
Yeah.
It was hell getting that bent up can open.
But those beers are just so freaking filled, so full, man. As soon as you pop one, it's like explode.
Right now, but I did drink that hef twice. Two different people gave me hef in 1 week. I couldn't get over this. Now I'm going to talk about the beer. Okay, I've had Andy Gator many times. At first I loved it, then I didn't like it. Like for a while I was disliking. I was saying the beer is too nasty. This beer's nasty. It's too harsh. It's like ugh. I drank it. It's like ugh. So then I was like, give me a Natty Daddy or something. So then.
Wow.
I'm serious. I'm not.
That is the worst beer in the entire world.
Wrong. Wrong.
Natty.
If you think Natty Daddy's the worst beer in the entire world, that's telling me you've never had Earthquake High Gravity 12% and you've never had Camo Black. Now, this is what I'm getting.
Natty Daddy. It was like.
Wait. This is what I'm getting with Andy Gator. It does have a harsh flavor. It's like it is like an alligator. It's like biting. It's like so. If you're not used to a really harsh kind of, like the brewers like to call it bold, right? They'll call that flavor bold.
Bold. Yep.
They don't want to say nasty, you know. So it's like it is like an alligator. It is like what this thing just bit me, you know. So. And it's very barley. You know, a lot of the malt liquors, like we were talking about in America, they use the corn that kind of softens it. You know what I mean? It kind of softens it. When it's straight barley, it's kind of harsh. So if you're not used to that approach, it might throw you for a loop. Yeah, brewers calling their beers nasty would make them sell really well, right, Eric? Now, it's a heavy, kind of a heavy body. It's pretty high IBU. It's like pretty bitter, you know. So but I always like come back to what I hated, you know. So I made a video last year. I was like repentant, and I was like, oh, I do love this beer. I don't know why I turned against it. I mean, I don't understand, you know, what the problem was. So I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. There's the Brister. It's getting real.
Uh-oh.
Brister, what's going on?
What's up?
This video just got so real. But anyway, what do you?
I wouldn't say, Jay, honestly, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about it, but I wouldn't put it as a I'd put it more as a medium body than a high body myself. That's just me.
I'll say high medium.
Okay.
Now, Brister, what are you drinking?
I have the Abita Bourbon Street Imperial Stout.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've had that a bunch of times. That's an awesome beer.
10% alcohol by volume.
10%. I've never had it. Okay, you tell us about it, and then we're going to go around the horn. We're going to go around
that's the one beer we can get around here all the time is that one right there.
Oh, that's really weird.
Probably no reason we can get that one.
It's kind of about $8.99 a bottle, huh?
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Now, hey, Brister, we thank you for joining us. And after he does that, we'll go around the circle and let everybody give their final thoughts on the beer. What do you think about you had it before, Brister?
I have not had this particular beer before. This is actually the 2014 version. I've been holding on to this for a little while.
Nice.
Aging it, I guess you can say.
Awesome. The floor is yours.
It's an Imperial Stout brewed with pale caramel, chocolate, and roasted malts.
Mm.
Aged in oak bourbon barrels.
Nice.
They got an oyster stout called Bad Mother Shucker.
We got one in Maryland called Pearl Necklace.
Yeah, I don't want to drink a beer with oysters in it. I want to eat oysters and drink beer with it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to. All right, Brister, give us the lowdown because you
Give
are.
us a review, Brister.
Right up front, you can tell that it was aged in bourbon barrels. Really good bourbon flavor to it. Mellows out to a nice stout flavor, and the alcohol is hidden very well. I really like it. You can't really tell it's a 10%er.
So you think that's the kind of beer that could sneak up on a person?
Yes. Very quickly. Let's pour some more.
And he's joining us from Mississippi, by the way.
Yes, I am.
I thought you were from Ohio.
No, Ohio.
And for some reason, I thought Ohio.
Hey, Jeff, what beer was that? Unfortunately, I couldn't see because I had to shut my computer down. What beer was that you're drinking?
It's the Bourbon Street Imperial Stout from Abita.
Okay. I got that Louisiana
You get a
spice
real-
beer.
We can actually still get that around here, the bourbon one.
That's weird.
Just not in Ohio, my friends. Hey, John,
Yeah.
you have that Abita spiced ale, that crawfish boil, that crab boil beer?
No, I don't.
I got that. I got that
Is
in
that
my
the
bottle.
Mardi
I have it
Gras?
in the refrigerator.
Oh, wait, that one wasn't in the variety pack. I'm sorry, I should have given you that one. No, you got the Mardi Gras box. Never mind, that's a really good one, though. Okay, now back to Maria, and then we're going to go to everybody. You know, I'm starting to lose kind of some coherence because I drank too much. But anyway, and that's only a 12-pack. See, I said 12-pack, 12 ounce. Just think if I drank a bomber. Oh. Hey, Maria, what do you? I know Maria's kind of negative on this, but I understand because I'm kind of negative about that beer myself. Go ahead, Maria, talk.
Really, because I don't care for it. I've been mulling it over in my head, and I don't care for it as a lager. I also tried to classify it in my mind briefly as a specialty fruit beer, and I don't like it that way either. My notes that I jotted down, I did finally notice an herbal hop presence. But I wrote, nose is horribly sweet, smells like Play-Doh, heavy with sweetness in the taste, moderate bite from carbonation, just shy of fizz, thick mouthfeel, and it's sweet. Oh boy, tastes a lot like strawberries and wheat.
Do you think this would turn you off from trying any further Abita beers?
No, but here's my glass, right? You guys know me and the lager. I took 2 sips. I don't even want the rest.
Oh, no, Maria.
It's way too sweet.
I wouldn't
Bring it to me. I'll drink it.
Yeah, I mean, if I don't even like the beer, I'm going to guzzle it.
It's only 4.2%, so the ABV was not the factor. That I don't think contributed to the sweetness. That is just thick with residual sweetness, all kinds of it.
Knowing Maria, that's not a good sign for a beer. No, no, no.
No, and it does have a little bit of blush from the strawberry in it. You can see it. It's slight, though. I mean, the appearance was the best feature as far as the scores go. The appearance gets the highest score.
Well, oh, heck, just drink the beer. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Chug it.
I should try and chug it, huh?
If you don't like it.
It's sort of like wild blue.
Now, Marilyn, Jake, before we go to Michael Komarov, Marilyn,
Yeah.
Jake, do you think you're going to join us again for like Chimay?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Okay,
Excellent.
excellent. We got some exciting stuff coming up, believe me. Okay, now, Nate, I don't even know what's going on. Michael, would you drink this beer again, or what's your final assessment of it?
I probably would drink it again, but it wouldn't be high on my list. My daughter likes it. I don't really like it. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, I feel you.
it's not sweet, so it's not a sweetness thing. I mean, the raspberries seem to be handled well. I guess I'm just not a major fruit beer person. It's not my. I mean, at first I thought I was an IPA person only. Now I've been getting into stouts and a lot of dark beers too, and a lot of Belgians also. But this would not be something that I would seek out. But it's not horrendous. It's okay.
If you were visiting somebody and they had Purple Haze, you'd drink it.
I would drink it, and I would drink it over any macro.
Y'all heard him attack macros.
No, I'm not attacking it. It's just I would. This is better than. This is better than.
I'm just kidding. I'm just imputing.
This is better than your average macro.
Right. Okay. All
I
right.
have to show everybody something before I go. Has anybody else seen this? Is it on the camera?
Yeah, hold up. Farther. Go.
What? Say that again. Tell us about it, Mike.
Okay, it's Amagon's entry into the IPA market called Nirvana IPA.
I've not seen it, but
It's
Maria.
only right now. It's only marketed in Metro New York and Connecticut and New Jersey.
And Connecticut.
And what it is, they don't even brew it in Cooperstown. It's brewed by Boulevard in Kansas City, which is owned by the same parent company.
Yeah.
In Belgium.
Right. Don't even.
I had one earlier today, and it was okay, but it's not as good as your top line IPA.
Maria's really.
Don't even get me started on that. On all of their American style. They're delving into the American styles. Yep.
I know. I said don't get Maria started. She's about to fight with people over Amagang.
I had it perfectly fresh. I had the Nirvana IPA perfectly fresh, and it was a classy beer. But it's not anything I would buy again. And some of the stuff that they're coming out with lately, it just doesn't even remind me of them.
You know what? You know,
Your Belgian style brewery. I want them to keep that. I want them to keep doing that.
I've had a ton of their beers, and I'm like you. I mean, it's something that's just like, okay.
You know what they did make really well with Boulevard, and this is what sparked the whole thing. I think they made that spiced saison, which was incredible. I mean, that was only in a bomber, and I bought it so many times. That's how good it was. But after that, they started coming out with like the Nirvana, the Hop State New York, and all the stuff they're doing now. Then they started re-releasing Game of Thrones. They just put out 2 new bombers from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
A stout, and what was the other one that I just had? Was another IPA. And none of those were Belgian, right? None of those were the same as what they usually do. They were all American-style beers.
Yeah, my daughter got some Game of Thrones beers, and she was telling me, oh, they weren't too good.
They're not good.
Iron Throne, the re-release, was terrible, and so was Take the Black Stout. Take the Black Stout was a completely different beer as far as the flavors when I tried it.
I have that.
Eric. Oh, Mike, what?
Is that coming from that sound, that back?
Oh, that was Marilyn Jake. What did you say?
Yeah, I have Take the Black sitting in a closet. Is it really that bad? I haven't opened it yet.
Is it old?
No, it's about a couple months old. Yeah, I thought they got better over time.
Oh, I don't know what that one will do over time, but the first one I had a different flavor profile. The second one that I had was very mild, and just not like the first one. It wasn't terrible. I mean, to me, it was different, and I liked the first one better.
It's probably going to be one of the beers that's going to sit better over a few months. You know, if you're aging it right and you're keeping it a dark, cool place, it's probably going to be better in a few months.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go double.
Yeah, it says it's brewed with liquor.
I'm going to go double header right now with Jean-Pierre and John with Zone 1. Your final thoughts on Andy Gator. Do you like it, and would you drink it again?
Go ahead, John.
I really enjoyed this beer. Is it one I could buy again? If I could get it again, I would. If I can find it, I'd definitely buy one. I don't, it's one of those beers that you really got to drink real cold. And, I mean, it's an enjoyable beer. I really like it. And if I could find it somewhere down here in Louisville, I would definitely buy a 6-pack of it again if I could find it. If not, I'm going to keep my bottle just to look at it every day and go, damn, that was good.
Let me see the bottle design, because they came out with a new label. Oh, wait, you got the old label that I had. John, let me see your bottle, John.
Yeah, because his is different than ours.
John, you got the alligator with the crown on his head?
No, I do not. I have I have the old bottle.
Yeah, because in the last 2 or 3 weeks, they started coming out with new labels, and a lot of people have the new labels now. But it's like in transition. It's like in transition as we speak. So
I think the Andy Gator is a real nice, complex beer. I mean, I enjoy it. The flavors are there, the body's there, the taste is there, and that's the type of beer I like, and it's 100% for me all the way.
Okay, and Jean?
Yeah, and Jay, you know this, being in this region, and he gave
Uh-oh.
He's
So
drifting.
up here.
Andy Gator what?
or all the Abita beer was here about my, and I haven't done a review of that, and hopefully, if it's still available, whatever store location, I thought that was a pretty
You're breaking up, Jean, but Abita
good
World.
IPA. But in any event, yes, I've had this before. I've had this at restaurants when I'm out to dinner with my significant other. I'll probably get this again. It's a very, very, very well-made beer. Nothing wrong with it. Very crisp, refreshing. As John Sharon says, it's supposed to be done like all high-gravity beers, ice cold. Nothing negative to say about it. It's a very, very good brew.
Okay. Now, Nate and then Eric.
Cool. Yeah, I would definitely try to find this again. Mostly, I'm not a fruit beer fan. Usually, I have really not so good things to say about fruit beers in general, with rare exceptions. But this is not. It's not bad. It's kind of like it's not like one that I would go and cogitate on, or maybe if I wanted to have a really nice beer, it wouldn't be necessarily my go-to for that. But if I was just chilling out in my room playing video games or something like that, this is not a bad companion beer for that.
Yeah. And I'm going to show you something in just a minute. Eric?
Sure.
Turbo Dog, excuse me, Turbo Dog, the first introduction of mine to Abita beers, and I would say I wouldn't look forward to trying the fruit beers, but this one so far is so good. I would definitely agree with the bros on Beer Advocate giving that a 90. I'm trying to look it up on the beer judging certification program guidelines, because as I'm drinking this Turbo Dog, which is considered an English brown ale, I'm wondering if it's supposed to have a fairly dry finish to the beer, because that's the only thing I'm not really too fond about. It has a sweet taste, and I kind of would wish that the sweet taste kind of went through in the finish of the beer, but otherwise than that, it's a pretty smooth beer. I'd say it's on the light side of medium. It's got a smooth carbonation. It's easy drinking beer. It's got those toasted malts and the nuts and the bread and some chocolate, vanilla, and coffee. And I think it would be extremely well with all your barbecued meats and ribs and burgers and steaks.
And I keep watching Maria the whole time. Everybody's talking, and Maria's like, why couldn't I try all these other ones people are talking about?
I wanted either the Andy Gator or the Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras something was the Maybach that they had out, and I was hoping there was a bottle of Andy Gator left, because those are my two. If I had to pick a style, I would have picked those. But I was happy to buy this.
Maria, the only reason I'm trying this is because I got it from my buddy.
Yeah.
That's why I got Andy Gator, so.
Mardi Gras.
They actually had a session IPA, which now I wasn't going to buy that, but I mean, Abita is not really, it's just kind of new to the Wegmans, and I got the single at the bottle shop, because at my local grocery they only had the session IPA, and I forget what else, but I thought, yeah, I don't want that either. I want a lager or a bock. I want the Pilsner, because I've had the Seersucker Pils, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, the Mardi Gras is a bock. Jeff Brister, the Brister, what's your final opinion about this bourbon barrel stout? 10%.
Very easy drinking, especially for a 10% Imperial Stout. Now that it's out of the bottle a little bit, about 20 minutes now, I can tell the chocolate and vanilla flavors are starting to come out more to complement the bourbon flavor, which is really nice. I just thought it was really weird. I was just checking the scores on Rate Beer. Those guys gave it a 48 in the style.
What?
Pretty weird.
That's pretty low.
I don't think it's a below average bourbon barrel stout at all. It's very good.
You've drank
Meyerbacher?
Have you drank Abita beers in the past?
I have. I've had the I can't remember which ones though. I know I can get it pretty easily around here.
Yeah.
It has an 87 out of 94 reviews on Beer Advocate, and the bros have not looked at it. So I think maybe Beer Advocate's a better indicator of the
Yeah.
probability.
I had that beer in 2014.
You like?
Untapped, I give it a 4.5 out of 5. So that's a pretty phenomenal beer.
Yeah.
Jay, can I hit a side topic?
I've had
Hold on.
You can finish, John.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let me show you what I'm drinking, and I want to mention something. I'm drinking Abita's Purple Haze right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed one thing about it. I mean, it's just like I'm so used to this beer, right? So I mean, it's like, oh yes, I know what I'm looking at. But I noticed there was a ton of sediment at the bottom, so I'm going to pour that in right now, and I want to see what's going to happen. I don't know if other people drinking the fruit beers are getting sediment. I got some major sediment, and it is clouding it up more. So that's interesting.
Didn't notice any in mine.
I had some in the bottom of mine.
And it's giving it it's giving it more of the fruit skin aroma.
That makes sense.
I can actually see some sediment in the bottom of my glass off the indicator.
Yes.
A little bit in mine's too.
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing, is it? Just
But you know, if somebody had said something about it, I would probably never noticed it because there's some sediment, but there's not that much sediment.
Now, Michael, you wanted to bring up a side topic. What is that?
This is Brister was talking about bourbon barrel beers, and this is one of the most hyped beers in humanity. Let's see if everybody can see it.
Wonderful KBS.
Okay,
I got 2 of them in my refrigerator right now.
now, it's from Founders, famous brewery, very good reputation, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's like on the Hype Express. It's like they want to make it seem like it's God's gift to beer, and it's
Now, I
not.
will tell you.
Penny Topper, Pliny the Elder, all those get it too.
No.
I mean, it's good, and I had it, but I found this 2016.
and the price is good, Jim.
It's outrageously priced because when you go to a store, they double the price because and they only let you buy 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like it can't beat the hype because people will just buy it. Now I bought one.
You know, around here it's a limit 2 when it comes out. It's $8.50 a beer, and to me, the 2016 is not as good as the 15 and the 14 was.
I found this one to be very thin. I thought that
it's very thin this year, and it's to me it's not up to what it should be.
I had a friend who was able to buy a 4-pack, but he had to pay $50 for it.
I mean, it's outrageous. You can't.
Wow.
You can't do that.
Highway robbery.
It's like I mean, that's how I feel. You can't do that. I paid $5.04 for this one.
Well, I give $8.50
at my food co-op, and one of the reasons I bought it, I told them to get 6 cases of it, and they were there. So I mean, since I told them that, I had to buy one, and they were selling. People were buying it, but for $5, that's what they sell it at Founders for. So I mean, what can you say?
I heard some chatter on Facebook. People were complaining about it this year.
I complain about it because it's not as good as what it usually. It's not as good as what it should be, and it's just one of those hyped up beers that it's just overhyped.
Yeah.
No, I like. They have something else which is only on tap.
What?
They have another one which is only on tap. That's CBS, which is made from maple
better than
syrup,
KBS,
which is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, and it's much better than this.
Yeah.
But that's even harder to find because it's only released every few years. They make a batch of it and they release it. It's only in kegs. You got to buy it in bars. They don't bottle it.
But if a local bar around here says they're going to have CBS on a certain day, you have to be there standing in line the day before. You're never going to get it.
It's very hard to find, and they'll have 1 keg of it and it'll just go. It's not gonna last that long. I've had it before a couple of times.
Yeah, it's I've had it. It's phenomenal. It's excellent. But
I've never had it.
it's one of those. It's just you better get it while the getting's good, or you're never going to get it again.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, on the topic of that, have you heard of Dark Lord by Three Floyds?
Yeah, I've had every year since they've come out.
I've heard of it, but I've never had it.
Yeah, you gotta wait
Yeah.
a day, like over a day or something to get it. That is like hype, right? It's like $50 a bottle, something like that.
It is. I've had every year since they've come out. I've had every year of bourbon.
I've never even seen it.
Yeah.
I had Alpha King.
I'm sorry.
Alpha King.
Overhyped beer.
Huh?
That's an overhyped beer.
Yeah, but somebody just gave it to me, and I tried it at a picnic at a barbecue, and it was really good. I made a video, but I didn't wait in line all day for it.
Good.
I've had every year of Three Floyds Dark Lords. I've had every year of Bourbon County since it's come out. So.
Wow. But you're the man. We're not the man.
No, I'm drinking Rolling Rock. I'm a little old man.
Right, he's a little man. You're a great man. I have some Rolling Rock in my fridge.
I got some PBR for after this.
He's got plans. He's got wisdom. Hey,
Miller Lite.
Wait a minute. Brister needs another beer after his 10% beer.
Miller Lite.
I'm not rushing this one.
don't encourage.
The old cans, Miller Lite.
Please don't encourage. Hey,
I'll show you this. I got this. About 2009 Bourbon County.
whoa, 2009.
Big gun, son.
So, John, you're cellaring that one.
Yeah.
I was only 41 years old. Hey,
2009 is the best year they ever come out with. So that's why I'm kind of hanging on to it. So.
right, beer is not about drinking. Hey, I appreciate everybody joining, and I think we've gone through it, and we might, if everybody could ever get a hold of a single Abita beer, we could examine one brand. But, well, I think we've showed the world that Abita makes an array of beers. Yeah. Some are really good. Others are, well, questionable, perhaps. Although I
literally passed by it.
I kind of enjoy these when everybody brings something different from the same brewery, because you let people know that some beers are good and some beers aren't so good. So
right. And it's funny because the ones that got the least regard here tonight are the most popular.
Oh, the most popular.
Only one guy brought it.
Good.
True story. Hey, well, anyway, next week it's going to be a whole different track because it's Belgium in the house, the original, the oldest Chimay beer on the market, the Chimay Premier, or also known as Red Cap.
Excuse me.
I will be ready for that, buddy.
I got mine in the fridge, folks.
I'll get mine next week. Actually, Wednesday. I'll get mine the day of.
Okay. Well, I want to thank Eric and Jean and John and Maria and Marilyn, Jake and Michael, Nate and the Brister. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
And nice to meet everybody that we've not met before. I think I've sit on an interview with Michael before, but Massachusetts Jay, nice meeting you. I'm glad you can join us.
Marilyn Jake.
Marilyn Jay, there you go.
Marilyn Jake, nice getting to know you.
Yep, cheers everyone.
You never Massachusetts.
Brister says the fridge, guys. And hey, but Abita does put the date, guys. And so thank you, my friends, for joining. And
subscribe to everybody's channel.
Yeah.
Jay, a shout out from Giant Space Monkey.
Yeah, right. Like, why doesn't Giant Space Monkey join video?
He's camera shy.
Subscribe to everybody's video.
We'll talk him into it.
Yeah.
We'll talk him into it.
And I still do tastings with him. I'm going to be doing one on Friday, so I'll see him, and I'll say everybody said hello.
One day, Blue Spectacles, you will join us. You will join us.
Who?
Blue Spectacles.
Who's that?
He's up in Nebraska. Rick Moore.
Okay. Oh yeah. We've done a few with him.
Giant space monkey, a camera shy rock star. Okay. All right. Yeah, we did have blue spectral.
Really? Oh, I missed that.
Blue Specs on one night.
Yeah, we had him on one night.